here with Edgardo Miranda Rodriguez, and he is the mind behind
La Borinquena.
All right, could you tell us about it?
La Borinquena is an original comic book series that I developed last year as a response to the debt and environmental crisis affecting Puerto Rico, and I decided to tap into the comic book industry so that I can introduce real social issues into the comic book world. And nowadays, popular culture is pretty much consumed and ruled by superhero genre, and I thought to myself this would be the perfect platform, or rather even conduit, to talk about real-world issues affecting real people. Even as recent as how Hurricane Maria affected the island, leaving 90% of the island still in a blackout. And here we are months later, and we're still seeing this humanitarian crisis happening. And one of the main reasons this comic book is in existence is providing me the platform to be the advocate that Puerto Rico needs now more than ever.
Wow, I mean, I was aware of the comic book. I didn't actually not know that that's why it was formed. So have you set up something where some of the proceeds go to the survivors or victims? Or, I mean, what's your process right now? Are you trying to get more creators involved, or what's the future of the comic book?
Well, right now I've actually put the second book on hold. I was in full production for my book and kicking off the fall leg of my promotional tour when the hurricane hit Puerto Rico. And obviously that changed everything. And I've been involved in various fundraising efforts for Puerto Rico since then. A lot of my time has been dedicated to that. As recently as collaborating with Lin-Manuel Miranda on Almost Like Praying, where I designed the artwork for the album as well as co-producing the music video. And I've also been organizing a lot of fundraisers with La Borinquena. Currently have an art exhibition in New York City, and half of the art show has already been sold, with 100% of the proceeds going towards Puerto Rico. And I'm giving money directly to organizations on the island, particularly one called La Corporación Piñones Se Integra, which is actually an organization in the town of Loíza. And they're actually a youth-based, artistically themed organization. And it allows me an opportunity to work directly with the community, and it's important to do that because I don't believe in doing fundraising via conduits. I believe going directly to the source. So a lot of my time has been dedicated towards fundraising efforts, and I'm continuing to do that. Currently working on a very large project right now that's under wraps until I get officially completed with it. And it's also about raising awareness and raising more money for Puerto Rico.
Okay, I think what you just said is majorly important, because sometimes these funds, when people give to major fundraising efforts, they get gobbled up in administrative costs. So I think it's great that you as an artist have come forward and just said, hey, I'm going to get this money directly in the people's hands and make some real change. I think it's important that artists be catalysts for change, and I want to thank you for doing that. And thank you for interviewing with Black Sci-Fi TV.
Of course, thank you so much. Black Sci-Fi in the place to be.
I'm here with Lalo Alcaraz, and he is going to tell us about what he does. If you like Pixar, you're in for a treat. Please do.
Wow, I'm getting identified as Pixar. I love it. I'm Lalo Alcaraz, and I'm a political cartoonist. I draw the comic strip La Cucaracha, which is nationally syndicated. And I do editorial cartoons. You can see them online at gocomics.com.
Plug.
Yeah. And I post them all over the place, so you've probably seen them. And I'm a TV writer and film writer, and I'm most recently worked on as a cultural consultant on the film Coco for Pixar, which came out actually this Thanksgiving.
I am just super excited to hear about that. I mean, that doesn't negate the greatness of all the other work that you do, but I mean, that's major, and I think it's something that's needed. We need cultural consultants for these types of movies. So could you tell us a little bit about it?
I'll tell you what we really need. We need brown people behind the cameras. We need brown people in the offices and the suites calling the shots, which is this part of my part in this movie is just a little step forward to that. Pixar actually did elevate one of the writers, Chicano from California, to be a co-director of the movie, Adrian Molina. So we need more of that happening in all media, in all industries. Probably not the Mexican food industry, but all other industries, we need diversity. Representation matters. So my role in working for the film Coco was to kind of really help navigate cultural issues and different elements involved in the film. It is the Mexican Day of the Dead is the background of the movie. And so I was brought on as one of Disney's actually biggest critics because I drew cartoons against their effort to trademark the term Dia de los Muertos for this film, which was at one point called Dia de los Muertos. So once they saw the error of their ways, they apologized and they moved forward, and then Pixar asked me if I would like to come on board to advise on the script, the casting, the music, the merchandise, everything for the film.
Well, so ultimately, this is really a success story because here you are disrupting spaces and inviting something and creating something that is against what's the mainstream. And instead of them, punishing you for it, they say, hey, our bad. And they changed. They made a change. And it's a positive change. I think that's a step in a good direction.
All of these movements, they move slow. Society moves slow. Progress moves slow. Hollywood, the slowest of them all. So, I didn't really think that I would be seeing a movie that I could get behind with all brown people. There's a story set in Mexico, and it's all Mexican cast of characters. I never thought I would see that in my lifetime, that a giant company like Disney and Pixar would be doing that, but here we are. And so, like I've been telling people, especially my critics, who said, why did you, join them? I say, they were going to make this film with our input or without it. Luckily, they chose with, and then I got a chance to be one of the people giving major input. So, what can I say? It's the #1 movie of all time in Mexico already, and I hope it did well this fall.
Well, you don't know what to say, I know what to say, and that's thank you, because I didn't think that I'd be seeing it in my lifetime either. And now I will get a chance to, and my son, who I will be taking to see it. And so I have to thank you for that.
Yeah, and thank you. Everybody go see it. It's a great family story. It's for all cultures, because what do we all have in common is family.
Yes. Amen to that.